nobody teaches you how to be an adult, right? Like, you go through school, you learn basic stuff that you need to get through life, and some of that stuff it's even really questionable how much you really need it to get through life. Like, yeah, basic math, fine. Algebra, calculus, depending on what you plan on doing for a career, you may never use those things ever again. But they don't teach you how to be financially responsible in school. And they don't teach you how to just be a responsible adult in general, right? But I think like finances are one of the most important things, because in any economy, if you ever want to retire, then you need to learn how to save money and be responsible with your money. And when I was like in my young 20s working in sales, I was making a good chunk of change for someone my age, and it was like that money was burning a hole in my pocket. And so I would party with friends, and we would drink and spend our money on expensive food and shit like that, or just takeout. Like, we would just be spending more money than we needed to be spending, right? And not saving anything. Like the closest I came to saving money for retirement was like having a 401k at a couple of jobs. But like the amount of money that you need to retire, depending on how early you want to retire. And I don't want to be old and crusty when I retire. I would, it'd be very nice to actually retire at a fairly young age, which is laughable at this point, but to actually enjoy life and not have to like slave away for 40 hours a week to be able to just live, right? But they don't teach you that shit in school. They don't teach you about investment accounts and things like that, and saving like a portion of your income and putting it into accounts that earn interest, so that your money is literally earning money on itself because the bank is investing that money and then they're paying you a piece of that pie. I did the math. Me and wifey were talking about this the other day. Because I have so little money in my retirement account, if I wanted to say retire in 30 years, then I would need to save $1,500 a month for the next 30 years, and hopefully be putting that into an account that's earning like 4.5% interest. And the crazy thing is, $1,500 a month does not sound like a lot of money. And in the grand scheme of things, it really, the amount of money that you'd have after 30 years of investing, if interest rates actually stay up with like CDs and savings accounts, which they don't teach you about in school, I think the number I came up with was like close to $1.5 million I would have after 30 years. $1,500 a month, earning 4.5% interest for 30 years, earning interest on itself. $1.5 million, right? Why the fuck don't they teach people this shit in school? Because I would have been doing that shit for the last 10 years. Only way to know that is from Google or even YouTube. And like YouTube and Google are great resources for information, but like you have to be a responsible enough adult to like actually think about these things in a way of like, hey, I'm 20 years old and I'm making $50,000 a year. If I want to retire by 50, what do I need to do? But what 20-year-old is going to think, oh, I'm making $50,000 a year, which was a lot of money for someone my age in that year. Just like, fuck, I'm making so much money, man. I'm gonna be living La Vida Loca. Not unless you save your money.